Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May 6th, I think, 2024. Yeah, the day after Cinco de Mayo, right? Yeah, this is the Downtown Estacada Commission. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and it is approximately 9:02 a.m. I need to gavel or anything?
No.
Okay. Do we have any public comments?
Good morning. I'm Sarah from the Back Road Dance Co., the line dancing company that I just started in Estacada. Anyways, I was trying to get a hold of you guys last week to figure out what you're doing for 4th of July. I heard there was maybe going to be like vendors, just like an odd chance that there could be. But I wanted to verify what you guys were doing because I have a proposal for the city to make some vendors happen. So I didn't want to cross anything if you guys were doing that already, or if we wanted to work together with you.
Okay, what's your proposal?
So I went down through the front of the food carts and talked to them about shutting down the street in front of where they are, from 4th around the corner up Zobrist. So it's like on the backside, so it doesn't affect the parade. So people could set their vendors up, and then the parade can still happen without interfering with anything. But yeah, I had a map, but I left it, but I tried to draw a map.
Okay.
But it doesn't block off the grind, their driveway, so they're able to use it. It would block off Napa on this side. And CRO was a little bit worried about their business that day, but they have the whole pull through still. And then all the way up till 3rd Street at the stop sign. So this whole area would be vendors up Zobrist. And then we have so many of the food carts are kind of just in for creating something for the city, like bounce house, mechanical bull, DJ, kind of like fun stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just like planning and working on it, but I wanted to make sure we weren't crossing anything. Okay. Yeah.
So do you have something in writing that you have prepared to send?
Yeah. For
Okay.
the city. Yeah.
Um,
The whole application.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so
I
you-
left it at home.
Oh, okay,
Thought I
all right.
brought it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I
there's
guess
a-
what we'll do is if you can submit that,
Yeah.
and then we'll give it to the committee
Yeah.
for the 4th of July,
Yeah.
and we'll let them review it. I mean, because
Yeah, do we, if Sarah wants to do something, does it have to be through us?
does it have, yeah,
No,
Yeah, she can do it, right?
I would recommend that you
Work.
coordinate with the
Sure.
road closures for what Connie usually
Mhm.
lays out for road closures.
yeah,
Because I believe that she does use part of 4th Avenue for alternate traffic. And so you might want to you guys can coordinate the layouts for the road closures and make sure that,
Yeah.
we still have good traffic flow. Other than
For
that,
sure.
yeah, you don't need to coordinate, you
Yeah.
don't need to run it through them if that's something you want to do independently.
so would she be better off just submitting her request to the city? Or first coordinating with Connie and then submitting a request to the city for those road closures?
Yeah.
If that, okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you guys weren't already doing something.
I think we're just doing the parade.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep. the
definitely,
parade.
we're doing the parade, but,
Okay.
so Connie's out today,
Yeah.
but, she'll be back later.
Okay.
We can definitely get you in contact with Connie.
Yeah. Yeah. I work with ODOT too, so I know.
Okay.
For the barricades and stuff.
Okay, if you want to give your, name and number to Evelyn, I'll make sure that you get connected with Connie.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I
Awesome.
know that, Ivan and, Gil
Yeah.
and they did it last year. And I
Yeah.
think they had a really cool turnout.
Yeah. They're my really
Like
good
post
friends.
parade,
Mhm.
watched the parade and then everybody kind of went over to them. So I
Yeah.
think that would be cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cause
Yeah.
we had talked about 4th of July and expanding it this year.
Yeah.
But it's
That's what I thought.
2 months out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hard to coordinate but I think this will be a cool,
Mhm.
um,
I mean,
and-
it might not happen. They might say no. but
Huh?
They might just say no.
Yeah.
But Yvonne is my good friend and Melissa has a food cart, the
Yeah.
Peach. So
So
they're
good.
all my friends. So
Perfect.
But
I
it's
think
the
that'd be awesome.
people up the street that we're trying to have sign off.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hopefully it'll be okay. Just a
Yeah.
couple hours.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring, oh, did we get anywhere with Timber Fest? Does anybody know if that's gonna happen? No?
No, I can't get.
Did you
ahold
get
of
that
Jordan
meeting? Did
at
you go to that
all.
meeting?
I went to the
Yeah,
meeting
think you
and
did.
I emailed him and called him and added him on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
I also
Did he ever get back
texted
to you?
him and he didn't know.
I think, I hope he's alive.
Yeah, we're having the same issue on the Arts Commission. He's just radio
Oh, no.
silent, so.
Oh, man. Okay.
Well, I hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great.
right.
Thanks, Sarah.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah, you're welcome.
cool.
Where-
That'll be fun.
if you wanna-
And and you wanted to do like line dancing maybe, or
Yeah.
teach some
Yeah, block party
block
dance.
party. Yeah, cool. Fun.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right. We'll give her information to
Awesome.
Evelyn and thanks for being here.
All right.
All right.
Next, review and adopt minutes from April 1st. Did everybody have an opportunity to review the April minutes?
Mhm, mhm.
Can I have a motion to approve or
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion passed. All right, next, action item here, Johnson Economics Market Study.
Yeah,
That's
I'm gonna
Jerry.
give you, because I think most of you weren't here when we originally discussed this. Maybe Hannah was the only one still on the board
Long
at that
time.
time. A long time ago, a couple of years ago, we had discussed doing a market study. We really felt
Mm.
that would benefit the downtown and the city as a whole. Look at what businesses are kind of needed and wanted in the community, where the spend is going. And I know that we've seen as the city has continued to grow, you know, a outcry for new businesses like another grocery store or a Jiffy Lube. And so having a market study can help us have some actual numbers if there's an actual market for those kind of businesses. And we have contracted with Johnson Economics to help us with this.
Do I need to push?
Nope,
this?
you don't need to push that.
All right, that actually is working. All right. Hi, I'm Jerry Johnson, with Johnson Economics.
Can you
and-
hear it, Jerry, online?
Is that working?
Yeah, hear it perfectly.
All right,
Okay.
Jerry's and Jerry's. All right. So we do a lot of market work for developers and actually retailers, and brokers. But we also work for a lot of different communities. And so this is really more survey based to try to figure out what people actually want.
Mhm.
You know, what you do with it is going to be up to you. So we're collecting a lot of demographics. We'll be collecting, we're putting together a survey instrument. And that's really what a lot of your guys' input on the survey instrument of make sure we get the right kind of questions put in there, because the distribution, the city's going to help with the distribution. It's not going to be a statistically significant survey, but these are actually really valuable. We actually find them valuable when you're trying to attract tenants. It's really nice to say, you already got pizza places all over the place, but for easy thing, if you're saying you wanted a pizza place, and then there's a bunch of people in the community saying, we really want this, or we'd like this sort of thing, or this type of tenant, it's really a nice piece to go out then to those tenants and say, look, you've got a community that's got the demographics, and your demographics are changing really quickly. I was out here, used to be out here a lot, 15 years ago, and I used to coach a junior baseball team because we always played Estacada, was in our league. And then I have been out here for a long time, but then recently we've been doing development on a bunch of the projects around here. And so there's a lot of activity, which you guys I'm sure are aware of, which changes your demographics, it changes your demand pool, and it changes the nature of who's living in your community and what they're looking for. And I think one of the things we're trying to do with this is to identify gaps or, what they like to see bolstered. It's always a tough balancing act because you don't want to hurt your existing businesses, right? You want them to be supported, but you want it to be stronger overall, your downtown. Because honestly, it's a long drive to the next retail opportunities. You don't want people going, and there's really no reason to have them leave your community. Plus, on a fiscal standpoint, in a property tax dependent state, you want to have commercial and employment uses in town as opposed to just being a bedroom community. It's not a good place to be fiscally. And your residents will all be happier if they have the types of amenities and retail opportunities close to them. They don't have to make that drive. And so it's one of those great things where it's a win-win where everybody can do it. You just need to be careful that, you know, you're not stepping too much on your existing retailers. You're not hurting them. You're trying to make it enhance their community and make it a better opportunity. But there's probably some niches or gaps that people see that they'd like to see more of. Now, I think this is focused on just the historic downtown area, right?
It's not just the downtown, but that's where most of the retail opportunities are. So based on our zoning, a lot of the city is zoned residential, you know, most of the uptown is zoned residential. So most of the retail opportunities are going to be downtown. There are some areas where that's mixed use that might end up being helpful later, like the mill mixed use, but that is not really going to be developed anytime soon.
All right, so we've got the typical questions you do outside of you collecting your demographics are sort of tenant types, you know, what sort of retailers they'd like to see. If they can give examples, that's actually really helpful for the brokers sometimes. They're not on here. There's a retailer in town called Cup and Saucer that is just a breakfast place. And we were working in the Kenton neighborhood, which is in North Portland. And a whole bunch of people said they'd like to see a Cup and Saucer. So the broker actually went to Cup and Saucer and said, look, this community actually wants you guys to be out here. And they opened one up. So it can be really helpful, but normally they're not that specific, but if you give us some ideas and say, look, we'd like, you know, some sort of cafe or whatever it is with some outdoor seating or things that they're looking for. It's still always hard to match those up with the property owners and the site and everything. So there's a lot of work to do, but at least it gives you understanding of what they're trying to see out there. So we normally start with something like tenant types. You know, how they're getting there, they're expecting to drive, I'm assuming mostly. You know, not only do your community sort of spread out, but you've also got a big hill to get back to the residential piece. So biking is, I know people like to talk about biking, but it's not that pragmatic and people don't bike for retail very much because I mean, we worked on the IKEA. And we have to have all this bike parking, and I don't know who's going to IKEA on a bike.
On a bike.
but it's required in the city of Portland.
Gotcha.
For eating.
Yeah.
Well, you could get the meatballs.
Yeah, they have good
Yeah.
meatballs.
But you know, other things you guys would like to see in a survey. I mean, this is really just sort of an open discussion I'm hoping for.
So basically, you're looking at us to assist you in providing some type of specific questions to ask.
Yeah,
for
the
the
types
survey.
of
Okay.
questions, because if we're going to do the survey out there, you might as well get anything you want to throw in the survey in there too.
I like the idea of the retail question and asking them to be specific, you know, oh, okay, I want a Fred Meyer or, oh, I want a Mod Pizza or something like that as, you know, I like that idea of being able to drill that down so that if we have, you know, 1,000 people that say, yeah, I want Mod Pizza, it's like, okay, well, then we can go to Mod and see if maybe there is a business opportunity for them to be out here.
Would retail space include like entertainment or something like a
Yeah.
bowling alley or?
I think
Yeah,
so.
those are for sure a
Okay.
good thing. Plus, a lot of the bowling alleys now are more like the Big L's type, where it's a concept that it actually does have food
Gaming, food, bowling.
and a bar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sports bar.
Okay.
sports bars.
Uh,
Yeah.
Lodging.
Definitely.
So when is this gonna start? I forget. I know we got a big packet last meeting or 2 meetings ago.
We'd like to
Lots
have
of
it
meetings.
complete before the end of the fiscal year, which would be before June 30th.
Oh, when?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
soon, because it
Soon.
takes,
Yes.
because I remember reading, it's done in like week by week.
Yeah,
Right?
we're gonna have
takes
to, we're
a
gonna get the
couple
surveys
months.
out, but I think you're gonna leave them out for a while because, you know, we'll do some summary, but there's really no reason to let people, if they want to do some delayed responses.
Okay.
You want to tell them that it's due at
Due.
a certain time, but
Sure.
they'll see when they can.
Maybe even more specific on the retail side, like housewares or fashion, or what do you want to see?
Well, I mean, a lot of times you go into like apparel. Now some of that stuff is really tough, right? I mean, you see ones that have sort of staples, like if it's just selling jeans, right? That's pretty easy. Everyone's just got stuff stocked. A lot of the apparel, like women's apparel, they like to be co-located together. And then they tend to be collaboration. There's a concept called comparison shopping and convenience shopping. The comparison shopping are where you're shopping against multiple things. Like if you're shopping furniture, you'll actually put like 4 furniture stores really close to each other because they assume people are going to go between them.
Right.
Or for women's apparel, there's a lot of cross shopping. So that's why they
Mm.
like to be in like a Clackamas Town Center or something where people
Mhm.
can get multiple options. It's rare that people will have just an apparel store for, a one-off, but it's unusual, at least for the chains. People have personal businesses and they do what they do. The chains are really big on the co-locating where, look, I need to have these 3 other retailers near me because I know my shoppers
Makes sense.
shop all of these and I'm
Mm.
hoping to peel some of them out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about chain fitness?
Fitness is another good one. A
And
lot of those guys are really struggling.
yeah,
Mm,
I
but
imagine their membership fees are expensive.
mhm.
They're very expensive but they're struggling financially too. They're just
Yeah.
like 24-hour fitness has been really on the ropes.
What about banking?
You can always get banks. All the banks have been closing branches, but you guys have so much growth right now.
Mm.
I think you
And
can
I'd like
overcome
to
that.
drill that down a little bit further to credit unions. Because
Or-
the closest credit union is Sandy. Or you have to go into Clackamas, or you have to go into Gresham.
Mhm,
So those of us that bank at a credit union
right.
have to go. That's where we have to go, because I refuse to pay the ATM fees.
Yeah,
Maybe potentially, I don't know, healthcare.
healthcare is actually a good one, and that's actually one we're seeing in more communities where it's a lot of the urgent care
Yes.
Yeah.
stuff too. I mean, you get your medical office type stuff, your doctor, dentist, eye doctor, that
Or
type of thing.
wellness
But
in
then
general. Mhm.
emergency cares like the Zoom care type concepts we're seeing in more places now. And they can go in a smaller community. And it's really nice because if you,
Yeah.
I don't know, my kids always had like sports physicals and things, and you could just go to Zoom care and
Right.
$60 and
Get it done.
Yeah, Zoom Care, like Walgreens has, they have their little,
Yeah, Walgreens does
they
that.
have their little. you
Yeah,
can
and
book it
CVS
online.
they had one too. Yeah. So, I mean, the drugs are always, you guys do have a good drugs. You have drugstore right now, right? You have high school
Right.
pharmacy and.
It would be nice to have a second drugstore.
Well, and honestly,
I know it's a small community though, so.
the new formats, but you're becoming a bigger community, and the new formats now have drive-throughs, which now my kids are old, but when my kids were young, I would have loved to drive through instead of unhooking them out of the seats and going in. It would have been great.
They did have a walk-up, but I don't know if that's gonna be.
No,
there
that's not there anymore.
Yeah,
It's,
so-
they closed it.
Take it out.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, you
remodel.
have to go inside now. So
Yeah.
the drive-through would be great. And they don't carry everything. I have to go all the way into Clackamas for one of my prescriptions.
Oh, really?
So I do it on a 3-month base. So I'm only going on, so I only have to go in there every quarter, but they won't carry it out here.
Well, it becomes
The
a
One,
big thing.
one thing we've talked about in the past is, some sort of, office spaces that you can rent by the day, by the, couple
Okay.
hours with,
Yeah, we did
work.
talk about that.
There
internet.
is a co-working space downtown.
Yeah, I know that there's some spaces at the Mason building, but something, a little bit more, just there's so many people working from home that, give them the opportunity to not leave Estacada, just go spend a couple hours, have a meeting, spend a day in quiet away from your house, but not at work.
And I think that you have to rent there monthly.
Do they?
I think so. I'm not positive, but he used to do it a little differently and I think now it's all monthly.
Mm. They're nice though.
Yeah, we've got a
Yeah,
couple,
they are
I've
nice.
got actually 3 remote workers and two of them are in co-working spaces because they just don't work well at home.
Yeah.
And
What about like DMV or stuff like that, state services?
you could always try that. I mean, that's more,
I only bring it up because I saw somebody left from Estacada, went to Sandy. The DMV hours were not updated and they drove all the way into town to find out that it was closed. I mean, I don't know if that would be fiscally responsible from a state perspective with less than 6,000 people. But, you know, doesn't hurt to ask.
the state's not bound by fiscal responsibility, so. It probably just becomes an issue for DMV if they'll probably have an expansion plans. They probably are, those things are usually scheduled way out that they're gonna look for a facility in this area. But sometimes they can actually be part of a lobbying effort if you actually show a big demand and growth and people would like that. Maybe you can get one opened up.
We can go all day.
Yeah.
Like a retreat.
Yeah, there's lots of things people want.
Really
Yeah.
neat.
Well, I think the other questions you start asking people is what are their current shopping patterns? You know,
Yeah.
where are they going for
Right.
these goods? Like you're not,
Right.
you don't need the auto shopping, right? And auto shopping is one of the comparison goods, right? That's why all the auto dealers and auto dealer rows is because they know people shop
Right.
against each
Compare.
other, right? They want to look at them. It's a big enough purchase that I'm gonna take it or I'm driving up to Kellogg, Idaho because I got a deal on my truck.
Right.
But you know, a lot of times they're linked to work, but I like the idea of taking a look at the co-working and the remote work just because that's such a growing trend. That's one of the reasons why when we do analysis of residential projects out here, why they're working is because the commute is tough if you're driving in to, you know, even if you're driving into Clackamas, it's a good commute. But if I'm only doing it 3 days a week, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not doing it 5 days a week. And for the same reason, we're doing projects right now in Hood River, which Hood River is a legit commute if I'm not coming in very often.
Yeah.
Do those spaces typically have like a boardroom that you can rent out for?
Yeah, they'll
meetings
typically
of
have,
sorts?
you can actually rent, it depends on who the operators are. The operators are all in flux, right? Because WeWorks is going under and
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons for that that's unrelated to the economics of co-working. But they'll typically have conference rooms you can schedule if you want to use a conference room. They'll have private little booths to do your phone calls. Then they just have public areas. For my employees, I buy them this cheap, you know, you can just sit wherever you want.
Yeah.
And they move around. And if you call them or they have a Zoom call, they go in this little closet thing that so they don't disturb people.
Oh, they make those little booths. They look like
Yeah.
sound booths,
They have little sound
then-
booths, yeah.
and then you can sit in it and
Awesome.
Yeah, and they normally have like a keg of beer and
Yeah.
stuff in there.
Perfect.
Hey, I should probably actually just work out of one of those instead of my office, but I'm in downtown Portland, so downtown Portland is so cheap right now, you can't even
Oh,
believe.
Is it?
Nobody
they-
wants
They
to
give away the
work there,
space
yeah.
because there's nobody down there.
It's sad.
It is actually, it's very sad, but
It's a good
it's
thing.
super cheap.
Mhm.
I do have a little putting course we put in the office now because everyone's remote. No one's actually in there anymore.
So have we given you enough to start with?
Yeah,
or-
you've got a
okay,
lot.
Great.
What I'd like to do is come back to this group. We'll put together a survey instrument.
Okay.
And we'll have a bunch of demographics and background of what the stuff looks like for your market. So you can
Wonderful.
put together a package. Because I think there's two pieces. The survey is to find out what people want. The demographics just is, this is your basic package that you market to potential tenants. Or sometimes you're marketing to property owners saying you should be going after a potential tenant.
Mhm.
Or informing the broker that there's basically a gap here that, look, we don't have enough of this type of retail. Because the demographics will show different things. We'll do what's typically called a leakage analysis, which is fairly straightforward. You just say, here's how much expenditures come out of this community. And here's the retail you have in there. And you've got a whole bunch of expenditures that are just going out of the community. It's harder to do in Oregon. It's really easy to do in sales tax states because the data is really good. Economists, not that we're for sales taxes, but sales tax states have really good data because they track everything every quarter. So and we like data, so it makes life easy. But because of that, you can sort of take a look at the community and the characteristics of your community and say, here's what it probably supports, and here's what you have, and it would indicate that there's probably a real gap for certain uses.
One more, maybe a car wash.
Car wash. All right, well,
Sandy or Clackamas, if you're gonna,
could be.
like a drive-through car wash. We have another car wash, but.
Self-serve.
Oh, self-serve one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've, well, Washman is one of our clients sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know what their threshold numbers are, but I'd take a look.
So would you,
Would say car wash might be difficult with our water capacity.
Oh, well, that's something else to balance if you've got.
No water park?
A water.
Yeah,
park,
no.
Yeah.
yeah, that,
Not yet.
Great Wolf
In the
Lodge.
future?
I'm sure before the new school's built.
You know, corporate retreat place, you know, maybe along with the lodging, have a spot
Yeah,
for,
okay.
you know, corporate retreats.
Conference
So,
center.
yeah, get,
I was
you
thinking
know,
that too. Yeah,
bring
retreat
people-
center.
Over there?
yeah, bring people out to Estacada
Yeah.
for, you know, we're just close enough to town where people won't, be discouraged to come out here, and we're just far enough away to feel like it's a actual retreat.
Yeah, you do feel like you've left town and come
Mhm.
back into a
Oh, yeah.
town, so.
well, and
there's-
maybe if that space is big enough, you could also use that as a venue for, weddings
Yeah.
or, you know, family reunions. You could also get that business as well.
There is a retreat center in Turner, that my son went to a football camp at. And they did team bonding and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
how
had
fun.
cabins that just, you know,
Mhm.
one plug-in, one heater, but joint or like community bathroom type situation. And then, yeah, he was there 4 days and it was
Fun.
beautiful. Big,
Awesome.
huge conference center and then these little cabins all around it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So can, you'll be back next month or?
I think we could, if I could set up the next meeting, is that gonna work okay for you? Or if you guys want to have, I know what your guys' agenda is to,
Does not bother me. They meet once a month.
okay, I mean, it would be good to talk to this group again, just because you guys clearly have a lot of opinions, which is really good. And no one's shy, which is really good too, so, that's all we hope when you go to this. The worst, you go to one of these meetings and no one says anything, which we have all the
Not
time.
us.
Oh, not us.
No.
Elena?
You want people to-
Elena, would this be something that would be beneficial to run across the DEI committee also?
I don't know that, I mean, we can ask them. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
So,
didn't know
so
if
bring
this
the,
was
the
something.
survey questions to them and see if there's anything
Yeah, I
that's,
think
that's
that'd be-
missing.
They may actually want to take a look at some breakdowns on if it's, you've got DEI committee.
Yeah.
That you can just add to the survey instrument.
So what's the next steps? Or,
Well, next
How
step
are
is
we gonna
basically,
help?
we've got to come back, get the demographics
Okay.
and get you a survey instrument to respond to, but we'll try to draft something up. And then hopefully, we're close enough that we can just refine it and get it out then.
so you guys push it out and is
What-
it our job to kind of
Yeah.
facilitate that too
so-
if we want?
So they'll create the instrument and the city will push it out and you guys can certainly
Share it or
share
whatever.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
sharing is what you hope. It's more snowball if
Okay,
everybody
so we
just
can
gets.
post it on
Encourage people
Facebook
to
groups and go
participate.
Yep,
do the
yep.
survey if you. yeah.
Yep, post it on your Facebook groups,
People
post
have a
it in
ball.
your Instagram, share it at church,
Yeah.
what, you know, all of your avenues where you're getting out and about in the community.
Cool, cool.
Well, thanks, Jerry.
Yeah.
Thanks. I
Do you
appreciate
have
you guys.
just one, because you're an economist, do you have any advice for our city? Just some quick,
For the city?
are we growing that much or what do you think?
Well,
Where will it be in
the
10 years,
residential is
Jerry?
going, the residential is going great. So
Yeah.
the thing is, you cross these thresholds for a lot
Mhm.
of retailers where
Mm,
they have what's called a conforming deal. Again, we work on the tenant side a lot,
mhm.
and they'll say, I need 10,000 people and I need this demographic, right? And so you don't exist to them, and then suddenly you have 10,000 people.
Right.
Mm.
suddenly you're on their map. And,
Mhm.
oh, okay, we need to have a place there.
Mhm.
And at least you're viable for it. And so what happens for their location guys is they'll pitch a site, and if it's a conforming site, then it's pretty straightforward. It's
Mhm.
like, look, it meets all our criteria. Sometimes we have a story site, which may be the thing for some of the Estacada where it's, okay, you're not there yet, but the growth pattern, and if you document all the stuff happening, they'll be there in the next 3 years.
Right.
And you want to get in now because
Yes.
that'll block
Mhm.
your competitor from getting in, right? Because
Mhm.
you see
And the
it
property
happening.
might be cheaper.
Yeah.
So
What is our population at right now? Like, what's our number?
5750.
5750?
Yeah.
What's it
In
gonna
the
be
city
next
limit.
year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
In the
So,
city
so
limit.
we have, we have about, well, after the next city council meeting, because there's 2 additional subdivisions on the agenda for the council meeting for
Mhm.
approval.
Mm.
So if those get approved, and I see no reason why they would not get approved based on state land use law,
Mhm.
that will have about 1,280 lots, single-family lots approved.
Mhm.
And then there's several more multifamily lots that have been approved as part of past subdivisions. So, you can have a duplex or a duplex and an ADU on a single family lot.
Mhm.
So we're talking, we can see significant growth depending on, and just because it's approved, it can take several years after a subdivision is approved before it's fully built out. I mean,
Mhm.
Campanella just finished building out and it was approved in like
jeez.
2018. I can't remember the date, but yeah.
Mhm.
So, we're going to see significant growth.
Well, and they'll look at those and say, look, at the single family lot, that's 2.4, 2.6 people.
Mm.
Time is the numbers. And if
Mhm.
it's built out in this much years, then I think the population trajectory is here. And again, you're a growing area, right? Your path of
Mhm.
growth, it's where something's happening. There's a lot of retailers, there's a lot of areas in the state of Oregon that aren't path of growth. They're not growing at all, including the city of Portland is going negative.
Yeah.
And so because of that, a lot of these people that wouldn't consider other areas. I live in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee, they've got retailers that would have been in Portland, but they don't want to be in Portland because Portland's not growing.
Mhm.
They're coming to Milwaukee,
Hmm.
which,
Isn't
they
Milwaukee, Clackamas County for a good
Clackamas
portion of
County
it
too,
as well.
yeah, which helps.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and
The
Estacada,
taxes are different. Yeah.
number 2 to King City, right? I just read an article that
For
was
fast growth.
For
Yeah,
fast
and
growth.
King City is all retirees. It's just, it's an oddity that they
Mhm.
had a new subdivision.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing happens in King City, then every
King-
now and then they get it.
King City within Milwaukee.
No,
Or
King
King
City's
City.
out by Tigard.
Okay.
It's actually a retirement community. We actually did the retail center there, and so their tenants are hearing aid guys. It's a different tenant mix.
Yeah.
That's a fast.
They were needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
So I-
outpatient care.
So they got a
Yeah.
lot of old elders moving there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it was
But we
always
got- we
developed.
got I think a lot of young people.
You're getting
moving
the
here,
families, which
do.
is a whole
Yeah.
different
Yep.
dynamic.
which isn't a bad thing.
No.
Right. Awesome. Great.
All right, thank you very
Thank you
much.
again.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
All righty, vacant buildings.
I removed that from the
Oh.
agenda. I didn't hear back from Tara, so.
Okay.
I was like, I don't see that.
I didn't either. Yeah.
It's vacant on my thing.
Okay, content for May's newspaper, social media posts, e-newsletter.
So that's me. Not much, really. Gonna start working on 4th of July stuff. Newsletter is gonna try and get in contact with the newspaper to do a 4th of July ad. And yeah, pretty much. Anybody have any ideas? Mother's Day.
Memorial Day.
Mother's Day, Memorial Day. 4th
Did
of
we say we
July.
can't do advertising for sports, correct?
Like high school stuff or anything?
Anything, yeah.
I don't think so. Are we allowed to?
I don't know that they made any specific ruling on sports. They
Yeah.
said you can't do specific business promotion.
Yeah.
Well, there are tournaments
Mhm.
galore for,
Cause that would
And-
open up a
and
whole new
district.
ball game
yeah.
to doing sports.
Mhm.
Cause we got a lot of that going.
Yeah, you might,
Memorial Day.
Maybe,
cons-
yeah.
consider if that fits within, the guidelines and the goals for this committee.
For the committee, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And because I think we've talked about that before. And
Okay. Memorial Day, don't forget Memorial Day.
the because can we just real fast get an update? Sports.
I mean, if we're
Um,
just giving information, something on like when to plant your garden would be fun.
Mhm.
Knowledge.
Starts.
So, yeah.
Zoning we're in.
Mm-hmm.
The Upper Clackamas Whitewater Festival is happening too,
Mhm.
which is a little outside of, but I think that the council,
Draw.
yeah, it is a draw. It's so.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, so I think you were just gonna, they
The co-
have passed it, but with
the-
some,
Yes.
whatever,
the
you want to explain it?
Ordinance was approved that has your
To
code
expand
change
our.
to expand your promotion
Promotion.
abilities.
uh,
They
so-
approved it on April 22nd, but
Perfect.
then the ordinance has a second reading on May 13th, so next
This
week.
month.
And then after that, it'll be codified June 13th.
Mhm.
So you can't promote.
Technically.
They can, we're not gonna, the council has passed it. I mean, the code is, I would
Okay.
say, the intent of the council was that to allow you guys.
Okay, there
you
wasn't
know,
like any stipulations. that-
No, no,
Okay.
yes.
So
There's
I've got
an
an idea, with what we're running up against again, with water usage. The city has a link to and Elena can probably explain it better, but there's people that'll come out and they will, like check your sprinklers, make sure that that you're running your sprinklers at the right time and the right amounts and stuff. That might be something good to put in the newsletter just to get out there
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Also,
So
just great knowledge,
The
too.
Clackamas, so we're part of the Clackamas River Water Providers Network. And as part of that consortium, with other water providers up here, they offer a free residential landscape water audit. So they'll come out, they'll look at your watering, they'll also look at like your soil type and to give you ideas for amending your soil to make your grass better. So then you don't have to water it as much. You know, they do it pretty intensive. It's like an hour long. It's really
Cool.
good. Yeah.
And that's through you guys.
It is through the Clackamas River Water
Water.
Providers.
I have
So-
that website.
Yeah,
can-
I sent it to Sherry.
So, and they are very quick to respond. My husband and I have already received an email from them. They said that they would be in contact with us because they like to wait until after the rainy time. And, yeah, so they've already, it's a whole little form letter and everything. So I'll get you that information so you can, but they were great. They, like
Post
Mike,
about that,
I think
add it to
Mike
the newsletter.
Mike filled all the information out. You need your water bill because you need your account number and all of that. But I think Mike contacted them on Wednesday of last week and we got an email on Friday.
Nice.
So I'll get you that, I'll get you that
Yeah, that'd be
email
great.
or that website. Awesome. Anything else on that?
No. it's,
Awesome. Did everybody get a picture of the door hangers?
Yes.
Yes.
So I obviously had some questions of Connie. So like, I didn't know there was a First Friday on Broadway Street.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that that had already started because I was like looking at this and I'm like, well, when does it start?
Yeah, first Friday
So
of the month.
evidently that started already.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's been going on for,
I was gonna say it went
Couple
through
years.
the winter.
it's
Mhm.
always first Friday of the month. It's.
So it happens every month throughout the year.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
got it.
And certain businesses might stay open a little longer. Summer, they might have music artists or the Spiral Gallery stays open.
Okay.
Have an event.
Okay.
You
And-
guys sometimes do stuff.
Yeah, and then the only other question I had was the chalk walk and the arts at the creek. There was
Mhm.
no time and location.
Yeah.
So she said that she was gonna reach out to those individuals to get before we sent this
Mhm.
to print.
Yeah.
Did anybody have any other concerns or questions? Do you like the way this looks? I mean,
think it's
other,
magnificent.
it's magnificent.
It's the- Yeah, same as the one that we did last year.
Okay, all right.
And we had, I think my, not concern, I guess, after hearing Elena, that, which is, we're fine if we get these printed and hand them out before council does that at June 13th, because we wanted to get them out a little bit before that.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, we.
I mean,
don't
the
do this.
intent behind council was that they've passed this ordinance.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to pass these out and you guys can't talk about concerts in the park. I don't know.
I don't, I think
Okay.
that the intent
Okay.
was with council and the rest
Okay.
of it is just, kind of us checking the boxes.
Finishing,
Yes.
doing what you have to do.
Yep.
So we'll let Connie know that we're good with this. We just need those dates filled in on those two
Marissa.
items. Is there something else we need on it?
I think there's going to be a movie in the park, well, stadium
Yeah.
on the 21st of June, and I could get information to make sure it falls under the criteria.
Who's doing? You guys? You? Fun. Love it.
So if it could go on there, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll make sure that it falls under, especially if it's going to be on door hanger.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So potentially
logistically
adding-
though, let's
right,
look at this
overall.
logistically.
Mhm.
So this print is going to have to be smaller in order to
Little bit.
fit in another. Is there something on here? Because obviously we want to add it. We don't want to take away something and replace it.
No, I think she'll be able to
Mm-hmm.
do her magic. She can make the former information smaller. It's not gonna be
For
an
sure.
issue. And then the QR code is cool.
Yeah.
Which is what we wanted to
love that,
have.
yeah.
So high school, farmer's market, concerts in the park, chalk walk. First and second, yeah.
So
As they
can
said
you
about the
email
chalk walk.
Connie
Yeah.
that information so that she can have it added? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Yeah, and I think Oktoberfest, holiday.
And that is movie in the park or what do you,
Well, it's going to be, I think it's going to be community movie night.
Cute.
community movie night?
I love it. Cause I know, somebody made a public comment a couple months ago about doing a drive-in movie
Mhm.
ish.
Where's
It's going to be in the stadium.
Stadium?
Mhm.
Oh.
Okay. All righty. Anything else on that?
No, I
All
think it
right,
looks
EV
great.
charger information, did we get any other information on that?
Yeah, I think it might have been Connie that had a couple of questions from the last meeting. And I asked Melanie and Elena about it. And there haven't been any complaints about people being parked there for too long at the EV chargers here at City Hall.
Good.
They haven't had any requests for additional ones. And there was one complaint from someone saying that it was taking longer than normal to actually charge, but they had a servicer come out and service it, and there's been no complaints about that since. So,
Awesome.
Killer.
Okay,
Right. I think that's great. I don't think we need to go with that program.
yeah, that
just
program.
yet.
Yeah. Okay, great. 4th of July Grand Marshal suggested groups. So it's my
We
understanding
chose it, right?
is that we're going with the Job Corps
Yeah.
now?
Yes, that's what I.
So, if I could say something before a decision is made. So Estacada lost a pretty amazing person, in the last few months. Brenda Crosby, owner of Reliance Connects. And, I was thinking that it would be something that would be really cool to, in honor of Brenda, maybe have Reliance Connects as the Grand Marshal, but doesn't necessarily have to happen, but it was just an idea that I wanted to throw past you guys. They've done so much for the city of Estacada, for the schools, throughout the last, 70 years, 80 years. I just wanted to throw that idea out there.
Can I just go back on the 4th of July thing for a minute? Who's actually on that committee other than Connie? So it's Connie,
Me and Heather.
Hannah, and Heather. Okay, and it's my understanding that you guys have discussed and you came to the decision or a suggestion to use Job Corps.
I don't know how that decision was made.
I think it was kind of made, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't.
No.
Okay.
I don't think it was made. It was kind of just told.
That's the
Yeah.
reason I'm questioning, because I posed the question to Connie, because the last time that we had discussed this, it was going to be the food bank.
Mhm. Or
And
Meals on
or-
Wheels.
and then it was
There's a
few
few ones.
Okay.
I thought it
We
was gonna be me. I thought I was gonna be. the Grand Marshal.
Yeah,
Is there, I know Connie, and I'm only going based off of emails that I've received from Connie, Jerry. Something about, their 60th anniversary. She thought that it was appropriate. Is there a way that we could do a Grand Marshal where we could do Job Corps with the, honoring of,
I don't
um,
think there's rules. I think that you guys could have like 12 if you wanted.
Whatever you
Do what we
yeah.
want.
Or not
Yeah,
whatever.
you can have two.
okay.
Let's
don't have to
let's
have
do
any.
both.
I feel like a tribute to her would be
I do too. I
pretty
agree.
awesome.
Okay,
I
Okay.
contribute to Brent, yeah.
Mhm.
so do we need to make a motion on that to
Maybe we can give
identify
the
that we
job
are
corps
going to
like a
have
job
those
to-
two individuals as
That's all
grand
I-
marshals, or we can just,
It seems like there's consensus,
yes,
and I don't think you need to make a motion. It's
Perfect.
just consensus.
awesome. Thank you,
So
Jerry.
Job Corps with a cool
With an
remembrance.
with an honorable mention or something along that lines.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's great.
Perfect. Awesome.
What was Brenda?
Brenda Crosby.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to get a hold of her son, Scott.
Or Brooke, I could help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I don't think her last name is actually Crosby when she
Oh.
passed. She got remarried,
Collins.
so yeah, Collins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Collins?
Mhm.
Okay. So one of you will follow up on that and do a little excerpt or something on her. Awesome. Okay. Okay.
Family.
Anything else on the 4th of July? I know that there was a form that was sent over.
Yeah, just the. What do you guys get? And this.
Any questions?
is
I
that
mean,
what you want?
obviously the dates need to be updated. Are we just gonna go with the same form that we've done in the past?
The application.
Yeah, application form.
I spoke with Connie earlier and she wanted to make a couple changes to, so it's slightly different in that you guys ended up with too many people in
Yeah.
the parade last year.
Yeah.
So the form is changed, so you have to pre-register.
Yes, by July 3rd.
Yes.
She said
And so-
no day up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the only difference as far as what's on the form.
And
Yes.
each business can have two
Yes.
vehicles.
Two vehicles.
And
No
the
theme.
vendor application in your packet is for Oktoberfest, not
Yes.
4th of July.
Yeah. Yes, I saw that. Yeah, but everything else, I think
Okay.
we've got it. We've got it covered.
Are we gonna have more Trump vendors?
Huh?
For Oktoberfest.
Yeah, for Oktoberfest.
What'd you say?
Are we gonna have more? Oh, no. Okay, sorry.
I didn't hear it.
So,
Okay.
this is, are you moving on to Oktoberfest? Did you want to talk
Yeah, I
about
think
that?
we're,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
4th's good.
Well,
Right?
can,
Or-
I'm sorry, I need help again. I need to know who's on the committee
For 4th.
for Oktoberfest, if we're moving on to Oktoberfest. I'm sorry, I thought we were moving on to Oktoberfest.
What
Are we
day
good
do
with 4th?
applications have to be in for the parade?
July 3rd.
July
July
3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just not day up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're holding, she's cutting that off.
Making sure that
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
Alright.
have maps of the
Right.
parade plan and blah, blah. Yeah. Give people.
Well, we also
up.
discussed about having maps sent out well before the event
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
identify
right.
to people where the road closures were
Right.
gonna be so that they knew,
When
and we were gonna
businesses-
also provide them alternate routes of how to get around it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And perhaps maybe stations for the volunteers so that, like, station numbers, so the volunteers know exactly where to go
Oh, I
and
love
when
that.
to pick up. Mhm.
Okay. Love that. Okay, all right. Anything else on 4th of
Yeah,
July?
realistically, probably that will be in the June newsletter.
Okay.
For the maps and stuff, but maybe social media will be earlier.
Okay. Anything else on 4th of July? Okay, Oktoberfest. Who is on that committee besides Connie? Lonzo?
I think we're making it, right?
I
Today.
I think so too.
that's our-
Lonzo, and then we need one more person. Is there anybody else that,
I can be on the committee. I just won't be here for the event.
okay,
And I'm here, like, I think.
okay, so
I'll be
we've
on all.
identified that, we've identified that.
We all have
committee.
our roles on the day, but.
Right. Okay, perfect. And then Any questions on that application?
I think it was changed, some wording was changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we met with the lawyer, we met with Peter, the city's attorney, and he said, as far as booths, you are unable to regulate speech. So any, anything that talks about your vendor booths has to be viewpoint neutral. However, you can regulate the types of activities that happen in those booths, such as you have, you allow food and beverages, but the app regulations have to be viewpoint neutral. So you can't discuss anything they are, you can't say like no vulgarity, because that is not viewpoint neutral. That is talking about the type of speech that they're having. Okay? So that's kind of what led to a little bit of the change, putting in the specific categories of vendors on the form.
Killer.
So food, arts and crafts, fine art, farm, garden,
Yeah.
and or produce, nonprofits, 501 can. blah, blah, Free
So-
children's activities.
With that, can they have signage and things in their booths that go towards whatever, let's say political stuff? Can they have things in their booth that lean either direction, or is that not considered neutral?
'Cause
They
that's hard
can.
because
We-
you can have
we-
arts and crafts people who say, you
Yes,
know,
yeah.
have a
If,
statement.
Who say
if they
things
are
about-
painting
don't know.
a sign that says,
hard.
you know, vote for Joe Smith, and it's hand painted, that would fit within the category. That would be in arts and crafts. We
Right.
cannot say anything about the types of the
Right.
language that is included on
Mhm.
anything. So
Mhm.
if they wanted to have something in their booth that said, vote for Joe Smith, they could do that. But it
Mhm.
just would have to be handmade.
Yeah.
Okay, so they couldn't have like huge signs that say, you know,
If they're hand painting huge signs that say, vote for Joe Smith,
they can do it,
They could do it.
but not printed.
It has to fit within the categories. Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, food,
Yeah.
farm, garden, arts and crafts. Yes.
Just
Cause
if
some of the
somebody
arts and
asked-
crafts, you know, some people, you know, do cussing on, you know, like
Yes.
that's just
Uh-huh.
how
Yeah.
they do it.
Yeah.
And that's
Uh-huh. You know,
their
I've seen like-
choice, but it's like,
maybe F cancer or something
Mhm.
like that. You see
Right.
those kind of like,
right.
you know, cups or
Right.
things. But yeah,
'Cause it's hard to regulate that. It's
yeah, we
silly.
cannot regulate anything that they are saying on there. We can regulate the types of activities occurring.
Mhm.
Just as long as they fit in those.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as they
Yeah.
fit in within
that
those.
Keeping
makes
it
sense.
arts and crafty.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
My understanding from Connie is that she's already reached out to
Mhm.
Urban German because they book up fairly early.
do.
Mhm.
So she's already reached out to them. And then she's also reached out to a couple of dance companies to see about having polka dancers.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
That would be kind of cute.
Yeah, I think she tried last year, but
That's gonna be really fun.
So.
Maybe
all
that's
right.
maybe that's something that Sarah from earlier could,
Mhm. Well,
maybe-
yeah,
I'll help with, yeah.
yeah.
she
Great
wants to. I've told her about it, and even though it's not German, I think it would still be fun.
Well, maybe she could do something.
Yeah.
Maybe there's
make-
time. Maybe she could do something, you
Yeah.
know, like choreograph a routine that is,
For sure.
you know.
Has some
The other
German
thing I
dance.
wanted to bring up was Urban German ran out of food or some sorts of some types of food fairly
Mhm.
early last time, and I know a few of the trucks ran out of food or certain foods.
Yes.
If we just when we're doing that, just remind them, you know, this event's going to be bigger this year than it was last year.
Mhm.
So plan
And
ahead.
people are certainly drawn to German type
Yes.
foods.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they want the theme when they
Mhm.
come. When we tried to.
I
stick
think
with
we
it.
sold out
Yeah.
really early on.
Yeah, you guys have
Yeah.
awesome.
The brewery was packed.
Mhm.
I think we
That's
did,
awesome.
we did
Even on the-
350
it was
something
raining too.
beers,
It was so awesome.
like
was
just
so
in the
fun.
brewery, and then we did 150 outside. So it was-
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. And the,
Mhm.
do we know what we did for the booth last year? 20 per space? Was it 10 last year? Or do we keep it at 20? I forget, because it's cheap.
Yeah,
It's
is.
really cheap.
We were gonna try to raise that.
I,
thought this
do we,
year.
was it 20 last year?
It was 20 last
Was
year.
it 20? Okay.
Yeah.
Do we,
We changed it to 50.
do we want to up it or
Well,
I don't
here's
want
the
to
thing.
open that
So
can of worms, but we're here.
everyone was really upset that the DEC was making money off of the beer sales because they didn't want to have to pay for a ticket to go into the
Yeah, beer
brewery,
garden.
right?
Or
not
to the beer
Right,
garden.
beer garden. Beer
to the
garden.
beer garden.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so the way for us to make money off of this is this vendor
Right,
thing.
yeah, because we're not going to do the beer garden, I don't
No,
think, this year,
The whole
right?
thing is gonna be
Right.
Beer garden.
a beer
You
garden.
can walk.
But to pay, to be able to have the beer, you need to buy the mug. But
That's how we're getting.
Okay, like uncorked? You buy
Yeah,
the cup,
like
right?
uncorked,
Yeah.
yes. So, we will make money off of that, but we need to make, cause I think we went under 2 grand or something, 3 grand.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, so we need to make money off of this.
So
I mean,
so do-
$20 to put your booth somewhere is really
that's
cheap.
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
I
That's
would
really
say,
150.
when we talked
Sorry,
about it
that's
for
not cheap, it's
uncorked, we were
inexpensive.
talking 100. I thought it was
Yeah.
100 a booth for uncorked.
Yeah, I don't think if we raise it, it's gonna keep most of those people that said ice did
Yeah,
really.
especially the
Yeah.
food vendors ran out of
Art.
food,
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
art
So-
people did and the.
Yeah.
they made money off of it.
So
if
then
you
what's
wanna
the,
talk about
so
that-
then what's the suggestion? Do we want to, do it at 50? Do we want
I
to do
suggest
it at
$100.
100?
Yeah, I suggest $100.
Okay.
I think so. What do you guys think?
I would do it for $100.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, I would do it as a business owner for $100.
Okay.
Right.
And
Totally
it's
agree.
pretty easy
Value
marketing
to
if
you.
nothing else.
Well, it depends on how much space we're giving them, because a lot of those were like double or triple booths. And those
Oh,
are,
okay.
those are definitely like worth like $100 if you're doing any
Yeah.
kind of maker's market.
It's 10 by 15,
So
20 per space, additional space is 20.
And I'd do an additional space for $50.
I don't think that raising it at least to 50, if not higher, I don't think that's outrageous at all. By 10 by 15,
Mhm.
I think that is like a steal even at $100.
Mhm.
And if you add another 20 feet, I mean,
Yeah. Yep, I
So
agree.
do the 10 by 15 space for 100 and then
Mhm.
any additional space 50?
Yeah.
And then what does the alcohol vendors become?
Well, I think it's the same.
Because this says cost is $50 for alcohol vendors. So
Then let's make it more.
yeah. Raise it like to 150 maybe,
Yeah.
because they were already more.
Are we going to be in the same
Whole different.
area again, or?
No, what do you think?
Yeah, you got it.
We have, I don't know that we've talked about
Yeah.
Well,
where. to put-
we considered not setting up outside again because everybody came to
Came
the
in,
building
yeah.
and we were having the walkie-talkie
Oh,
food
goodness.
out to the
Yeah, no, it
Yes.
definitely makes sense.
walkie-talkie, i.e. call on cell phone.
Like
to bring food out.
Stay in
Yeah.
the buildings and then the outside.
But
Mhm.
I do think we would buy a spot to have tables set up out there
Mhm.
so that people could sit
Mhm.
with their kids. See,
Mm.
this is where it got hairy last year because we were like,
Yeah.
are we supposed to serve them out here with their
Mhm.
kids? Or this
Yeah.
is gray. So we actually ultimately didn't,
Mhm.
but would
Yeah.
if it's allowed for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think, well, we have all those tables and chairs that we'll set up
mhm.
anyways.
okay, you guys, let's just backtrack a little bit here. So I'm looking at an application at the top that says September 28th, 2024, 11 to 7. Applications are to receive by September 16th, 2023. I think that's supposed to be September 2024.
Mine is the application from last year.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
the one
the
that I-
one in the
Okay.
packet is the most up to date, I think,
Well,
with the new language added.
Start set.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you guys.
See you later.
So there isn't an additional charge for alcohol vendors?
On the form from last year and the updated one.
Okay. This is the information that was received to me from Connie that I forwarded to you to have to give to them. And I have something completely different than they do.
I got the door hangers from you and Connie emailed me separately asking for the Oktoberfest application, and this is the one that was most recently updated with the new language. So I
Alright.
don't know if maybe she didn't send me the one you have.
Okay. So we're gonna make the space $100, $50 for additional, and then
100 for alcohol,
Ah.
same.
I-
Sorry.
It was more last year for anybody that was doing alcohol.
Okay,
So
okay.
I kind of feel like we should keep that a standard. Like if you're going to,
More.
yeah, you're going
Okay.
to serve alcohol, then it's going to be a little bit more.
so do you think we should make that 150 as opposed to 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So 100.
So 100
extra.
100 for the actual space, the 10 by 15, and
Mhm.
then $20 or $50 extra for an additional space,
Mhm.
and then $150 for alcohol
Alcohol, right.
vendors. Okay. Anything else in regards to Oktoberfest?
No, we kind of made a committee, right?
Yeah, Connie,
Um,
Connie, Lonzo, and Julie.
And then I think we're all gonna make it happen.
I'll be on the committee too, if they need extra help.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They have,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just really
because you won't be, yeah.
excited that we're doing this again.
It was
And
fun
it's-
last year.
I'm just proud of everybody. It's cool.
Sounds like it was a great event.
It
And
was a
we,
lot, it was a lot of fun.
and give us a good foundation just for making more,
Yeah, absolutely,
like next year.
absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, anything else on that? I had some questions on the budget. And I don't know, maybe I need to talk to you, Heather or Hannah, about this.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to understand our breakdown of our budget. I'm looking at it. It's promotions and marketing, $6,000, 4th of July, $1,000 with an income of 3,500, Oktoberfest, 7,500, tree lighting, 5,000, gift certificates, 150. What is our actual total budget for DEC? Do we have a total budget?
It should be 15,000.
So. Okay,
Started off with 10 and then we got 5 from the.
for
tree
the,
lighting.
for the tree. Okay. And of that 15,000, this is how it was
Adding up, though.
broken down for 2023. This is where the money was used. So, I mean, I just
believe
want,
that the budget is your proposed budget for your next fiscal year, which starts July 1st.
I'm just asking, so I'm asking as far as promotions and marketing, it says $6,000. Do we have the ability to move some of that money around to, like, if we needed more money for the 4th of July, can we put more money to 4th of July?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can, so as long as you stay within like the total budget, you can
Yes,
move money
shift it up,
around, you can shift
for
it
sure.
around. You can't get to the end of the year and have expended funds that were not prior approved by council.
Right,
Mhm.
right, okay, all right. Thank you. I just,
Yeah.
just want to
able
go on record, make sure that I just need to better understand some of this stuff. Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. Latest city council meeting updates. Is that me? from-
No, I think that's me, right?
Okay.
Isn't this about the youth council? No? Oh, is it you? Okay, maybe.
Maybe
it's you.
the update on the verbiage.
I think it was just
Just
that.
where they're at with expanding or the.
Yeah.
They're,
Oh, okay.
where they're at with the expanding the
Of-
language,
of
right?
The language for where we can promote.
And they approved that. And then something else they did that will impact you is they added a youth seat on every advisory board committee, which
what?
DEC, youth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so there is a non-voting youth member.
Oh.
We're going to be opening up those applications here soon. And we'll,
That's cool.
yeah,
That's
each,
really cool.
each advisory
love that.
committee
Get like
will have
kids
a youth.
involved.
Yep.
I'm
uh-huh.
glad that you brought that up because I was gonna let them know about that.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and the council voted that they would like it to be between 7th and 12th grade. So you could have middle school all the way through the end of high school. Serve on
How
that.
long are the terms?
It's a 1-year term.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is nothing in our code language right now that prevents youth from serving on any committee,
Mhm.
except for budget committee, because you have to be an elector, so you have to be a registered voter.
Right.
But all the other committees, there's nothing, well, in council, there's nothing
Mhm.
that says that a youth can't serve in a regular seat. So if for some reason one of your people had to vacate their seat, if your youth person after serving their first term wanted to be a regular member, then they could also do that.
And how are we getting the information to them?
So we're working on a form and then we're going to send it out to the schools, to the homeschools. We'll put it in the social media, those kind of things. Yeah, because
Excellent.
it's for
Cool.
all of the committees.
And they probably get like credit of some sort maybe or or that's, I mean.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
not-
sure. I don't know if the schools still require volunteer hours for
Mm. I
graduation.
I believe so,
think
and they
so.
also have work credits too. So,
Something.
even though they may not be getting paid, I bet there's not verbiage about it in there.
Mhm.
We could ask Steve Christiansen and see, but I'm sure they would get credit for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
If they're missing, well, not missing, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great program.
Yeah.
So the other
Awesome.
thing that we did that could affect or will affect this committee is we did decide to have a separate economic development committee.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's a good thing,
Mhm.
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be more.
Versus changing
more-
us to that.
Yeah,
I
versus
think-
changing you guys to
yeah,
that. So that,
thank you.
the Economic Development Commission will probably be more focused on like traded sector and job
Right.
growth. Yes. Yeah.
Cool. And then we can work together with them.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. So
Yeah.
what is that'll
Yeah,
start to,
we're working on the form for that right now.
happen.
We're going to be holding an industrial campus summit, May 15th. And if any of you want to attend that, just let me know. So that's going to be our kind of soft launch for the application for the Economic Development Commission.
cool. Fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's gonna
All
be
right,
fun.
any other public comment or anything?
I'd like to plant a seed or get you guys to start thinking about something. 2025 is the 120th anniversary of Estacada being a city.
Nice.
So I don't know if you guys want to do something, an event or, maybe dedicate an event to that or just something to think about. Like I said, I'm just planting a seed. It came up at the Arts Commission meeting. And I just thought it'd be something cool. Then again, we can always hold off until 2030, for 125. So, or do both.
Is there a month?
Yeah, what is the month?
I don't know that.
Okay.
You said that next year's 100 years?
120.
120.
120, because it was 1905, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's good to know. That's awesome.
Well, we could incorporate it with something
Yeah.
if we figure out what month it is.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm?
I love that. 100 and,
We could incorporate it actually in all events.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, make it
totally.
a year.
For the whole
theme
year.
For
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have to have necessarily a date, just
Yeah.
add it
That's
to
cool.
everything, celebrating 120 years.
You look at the Christmas tree stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, man.
No problem. Thank you guys for considering it.
Yeah, awesome.
Commissioner comments? Is that Jerry?
Just all of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Anybody?
Working
Sorry, I
on-
just Googled it. It's May of 1905. Sorry.
May.
Oh, right there. What do you
Perfect.
wanted to do?
Yeah, we would like to do Uncorked in May of next year.
Maybe. That'd be cool. Start it off.
Hmm.
Start it off.
Right, because we got like 800 wine glasses in the attic.
I know.
Let's get rid of them.
This year's not happening clearly.
We,
Next
we,
year.
we talked about dates for this year, but August is
wasn't adding
not ideal for wine. Really, we would have to figure out how to keep red and white wine cool, and it's hard enough.
Yeah.
If it's 90 degrees or 100 degrees, it would not be ideal. So, and really even then timing wise, it's just really not enough time.
School and travels and I
Yeah.
think May would be cool, but
Yeah.
on
So
Mother's Day. and
we're hoping for,
Memorial Day.
maybe we could put that on the agenda.
Just with the,
Yeah. And then also I'm working on the Christmas tree count
Mhm.
to figure out the Christmas tree capital of the world.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I know.
Uh-huh.
So cool.
I'm very
I
lot of
kind
fun
of started
stuff.
talking to some of the older Christmas tree farmers and there's one specifically who has wanted to make Estacada whimsical and all the things.
amazing. I can't
Mm.
wait. I will definitely be helping with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the wedding's September, right?
yes,
Cool.
yes. So that's why I won't be at Oktoberfest.
Yep.
Because we'll be.
Yeah,
in
you
Maryland.
gotta, your hands full, but thanks for all you do anyways.
Yeah, so
That'll be fun,
but
though.
I will definitely be around for Christmas tree, even if I don't get fake snow this year. I can just I can just spray glitter and start blowing it out.
Yeah.
It looks like snow. I mean, I'm not
Sprinkling it
opposed
on
to any of that.
everybody.
I'm like, you know.
Awesome. Yeah. Or maybe real snow.
Any other
Right.
comments?
No.
So it sounds like for next meeting agenda items, we definitely want to start brainstorming ideas for the 120th City of Estacada for May 1905. And then possibly kind of collaborate that into with Uncorked.
Mhm.
So definitely want to put those on the agenda for next time. And maybe Jerry of Johnson will be back for the economics and have that survey ready for us. Anything else that anybody else would like to add?
I think we should probably put the Christmas stuff on,
The agenda for
uh,
next.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we don't get,
For this year.
I feel like summer's gone already, so.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will add Christmas.
Maybe.
Oh, no.
Maybe Oktoberfest and maybe if there's like, we can get like a work. Yeah.
Get an update on October, well, just get an
Make
update
some
on
groups that we can meet
Oktoberfest.
separately, but
Yes.
that'll happen.
Okay.
And yeah, door hangers should be good to get that information. Arts at the creek.
I don't remember from last meeting, I'm sorry. Did we decide we were putting them in the water bills again, the events? Or not?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that we decided that, but it
To
was,
do in
it was
June, I
the,
think.
it was the newspaper ad that came into question because of the money, the cost. And were we really hitting the target audience that we needed? Because how many people get papers anymore?
Right.
I was thinking the same thing about the water bill. How many people actually get a water bill?
I do.
Yeah, okay.
I know that was what made me think of it was like, I'm like,
That's just because of the.
but
When-
a lot of people
When it's
still get
included
it.
in the water bill, you still get your bill emailed and yeah.
It'll be on the
and it'll-
email.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
good to know. Perfect.
Well, and I think for the newspaper article that I'm gonna try and do in June, I think it's free.
Oh, okay.
The press release.
Yeah, just one press, if they choose us, I think that's
think-
free.
Yeah, but I think it was more that the whole pamphlet.
The paid one that we
That-
did, I think for the
that was-
Oktoberfest, that
Yeah.
we was like $500 that we're like,
Right.
I think we took it off the budget.
Yeah,
We're like, no,
okay.
we don't need to do that.
Okay,
But this one for June that I'm gonna try is will be free.
perfect.
It's if they want to put it in or not, kind of out of our.
Perfect.
But,
Okay,
um,
Great.
yeah, finalize 4th of July stuff next month.
Yeah, finalize
we're-
4th of July.
Can we
Yeah.
print a few flyers? Would we have to add that to the budget or hang up at the grocery store and mail or post office and? no?
For events or.
Yeah,
4th of
you
July?
just send them to Evelyn and she can print them for you.
Cool,
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
Nice.
We have a board, LB's has a board
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
country or whatever, you know.
We put them in our window.
Definitely get those. For events or just 4th of July?
I would say for all those events.
To mirror,
Yeah.
yeah, to
Mhm.
mirror,
Yeah.
door hanger, I think is kind of what I'm trying to do. Hit everybody,
Okay,
email, in person. Social media.
awesome. Okay. Anything else? All right. Anything else?
Girls.
Evelyn? Anything else on Jerry?
Oh, not Jerry, sorry, you're. He was here.
Well, I just want to say how excited I am about the energy of this committee, and I'm super excited to work with you guys and see everything moving forward. It's amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
fun.
Jerry.
It'll be good. Thank you,
Appreciate
Jerry.
that. Awesome. All right. Well, meeting adjourned. It is 10:16.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.